Hello students, welcome to the Learner's Planet. So students, this will be our session 2 for AIEEE Chemistry paper 2011, right? Now in our previous session we had solved 9 questions of that for the paper. Now in this session we'll solve few more questions. Now let's start our problem solving session here. See, we've got this question. These are the questions of AIEEE 2011, right? Chemistry paper. Now, which of the following facts about the complex is wrong? First of all, you can't now look up the options. Okay? You first need to find out that what are the characteristics of these complex are. What all are the characteristics given in 4 options? The paramagnetic nature, whether it is an outer orbital complex or the inner orbital complex. Thirdly, whether it is giving precipitate, and fourth, the hybridization. So once you'll work out for the hybridization or the pairing of electrons, you can work out for rest of the things. Now see, chromium. First of all, I'll tell you that ammonia here is acting as a weak field ligand. It acts as a strong field with copper, with cobalt, right? Now it will not cause pairing of electrons. Then what is the atomic number of chromium? What is it? It is 25. What is its configuration? It is 4s1 3d5. I have told you that till 4s there are 20 electrons, right? So I think the atomic number of chromium is 24. It's not 25. So we are having 19 plus 5, that is 24. Now what is the oxidation state of chromium over here? Let us take it as X. Ammonia, it is a neutral ligand, so it would be 0, and there is an ion, right? So this is an anion, so it would be -3. Chlorine, its oxidation state is -1, so it would be -3, and that is equal to 0. So what will be the oxidation state of chromium here, students? It should be +3. Now what would be the configuration of Cr+3? It would be 4s0 3d3. So there is no question of pairing and all, pairing or not pairing, right? Now just write the d orbital. Now what type of complex it would be? As there are 3 electrons, no pairing, right? It is an octahedral ligand, so the orbitals will split up into the 2, that is the Eg and T2g orbitals, that is the 3 below and 2 above. So all the 3 orbitals will have single electrons first, right? So we have got this 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now what all electrons are? How many electrons are there? There are 3 electrons. You must be knowing that your d orbital under the influence of ligand field splits up into 2, right? So below there are what? dxy, dxz, and dyz, and here we have the x square, y square, and the z square. So there will be 3 electrons first occupying these orbitals. Now the complex is paramagnetic, right? The complex is an outer orbital complex. Is it outer orbital? The hybridization here would be, this is what? These are the 3d orbitals, this is 4s and this is 4p. So the hybridization would be D2sp3 and not sp3d2. So what is it? It is not an outer orbital complex, and this is wrong. Then the complex gives white precipitate with silver nitrate solution. Of course it will give. Silver will combine with chlorine and will give silver chloride. So this is also right, and D2 hybridization is also right. So students, as you start solving with the options, it will take time. It's better you just chalk out about the number of electrons. That's it, right? So this complex is an inner orbital complex. Now let's take up the next question. See this. Ethylene glycol is used as antifreeze in cold climate. Antifreeze means it is preventing the water from getting freezed to, right, in the car engines. So your ethylene glycol is used as an antifreeze. The mass of ethylene glycol, which should be added to 4 kg of water to prevent it from freezing at -6 degrees centigrade, will be. This is a very easy question. Just write down the formula for depression in freezing point. The formula is delta TF is equal to the Van 't factor into the molality. Now, ethylene glycol, is it an ionic compound? No. So your I is not required. Its value would be 0, and we have this Kf into M. That is the molality. Right? I think your Kf is missing. Your Kf is given as 1.86. Right? This is Kelvin per kg per mole. Kelvin kg per mole, right? So this is Kf. Now what do you need? Delta Tf would be 6 degrees centigrade. What is delta Tf? That is 0 minus T2, right? So this would be 6. This is 6, and it is equal to Kf. What is Kf? 1.86. What is molality? Number of moles of solute per kg of solvent. What is number of moles? Number of moles is weight in grams of solute divided by the molar mass of solute. Right? You need to find out the molar mass of solute, that is ethylene glycol, and its molar mass comes out to be 62 and 4 kg of water. So you can find out the weight of ethylene glycol that should be added to prevent it from freezing at -6 degrees centigrade. Right? Ethylene glycol, the formula is CH2OH, CH2OH. Right? This should be This is your simple glycol. I hope all the valencies are satisfied over here. So it would be 62 into 4 divided by 1.86. What is the formula of glycerol? Glycerol is CH2OH, CHOH and CH2OH. Just calculate it and you'll get the weight of this thing, your ethylene glycol added to be as 3804.32 grams. Remember, this is in kg and you are getting your answer in grams. So you need whatever answer you are getting from here, multiply it by 1000, right? So your answer comes out to be 804.32 grams. Okay. So this is the mass of antifreeze to be added. So student, this question, right, the question of depression and freezing point or elevation and boiling point. It comes in all the exams. Say if you are appearing, one question of such sort comes, like if you are appearing for IEEE or BITSAT or WITI or any exam you are appearing for. So do remember this formula. But one thing you should remember, that whether the electrolyte or the substance which you are adding or the solute is ionic or covalent. If it is ionic, there will be what? There will be the Van 't Hoff factor also, right? Now let's move to the